morning. I am Mark Weaving, the Dean of Students, and along with Delaney Dunnigan, I chair Gunston's graduation weekend. The ceremony will begin in just a moment, so if you haven't already, please find your seats and silence those cell phones. Before we do start, though, we need to thank John Lewis and Christy Gravis for their unequaled leadership throughout the year, as well as our facilities team, Mike Hardesty, Richard Spray, J.W. Cahall, and Lupe Chilot. Our events director, Delaney Dunnigan, along with Catherine Lawson, Trish Rudolphs, Kim Vest, and Sarah Martin, have pieced together every detail of behind the scenes for the weekend, along with help from Melissa Haber and Reed Henry in the business office. We also thank Marie Thomas, Mike Kaler, Jessica Connor, Tom Chafee, Ryan Asprion, and Mac Wiseman, who have managed all the communications, publicity, artistic, and technology needs for the weekend. Together, let's give thanks for the whole community as we celebrate especially our seniors today. So a few instructions once we come to the awards. And actually, some of these are for the seniors, so I think I need to wait on that. But presenters, we'll ask you, please come up from the left and head over to the right. Underclassmen, please remember that buses will depart at 11:15 today. And if you're a parent of a senior, please remind them to stay on campus for the graduation rehearsal following this ceremony. If you're attending graduation tomorrow, please follow the parking directions from our facilities team when you arrive, and let them know if you have any special needs on your arrival. Note that the tented ceremony will proceed in the case of rain, but if there should be lightning in the area, it could be delayed slightly. With that out of the way, let's stand and acknowledge our seniors.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got those clapping muscles all warmed up for our 62 seniors. So seniors, you can have a seat. Just a note, as you're coming up to receive your award, please be sure to step off to the side for a photo by Mrs. Connor after those awards are received. Logan, come on up. Good morning, everybody. As the president of the student body, I'm honored to welcome each and every one of you to our 2025 Green and White ceremony at the Gunston School. This ceremony is about the hard work and the dedication of all Gunston students striving for excellence in all areas, individual and as a collective. Today we recognize all these efforts and celebrate the accomplishments of our community. It is my privilege to introduce our head of school, Mr. John Lewis.
Okay, good morning, everybody, and to the students and families of the class of 2025, welcome to the Green and White Awards. Today, we reflect upon the year celebrate Gunston, hand out awards, and say a few words about each member of the class of 2025. Mr. Weening earlier thanked everyone else, but I would like just all of us to thank both Mr. Weening and Ms. Dunnigan for the incredible work they've done in helping to chair the graduation weekend committee. Let's give them a hand. To all parents, families, and caregivers in the audience, thank you for being such incredible partners with Gunston during your years here. For those of you who will not be on the sidelines next year, I just want to thank you so much for all that you've done for Gunston. And seniors, this is for you, amidst the social and emotional flurry of the next 48 hours, I hope you will take a moment and thank your families. Since the start of your life's journey, they have been there for you as your champions and supporters. So please take some time to do that. So I confess that I have a special soft spot for the class of 2025. And as I was reflecting on this a couple of weeks ago, one of you said to me, Mr. Lewis, come on. We were the last tent kids. So with that in mind, I'm going to tell you a little tent story, which I'm not sure all of you know. So about a week before your 9th grade retreat, Gunston was alerted by Camp Pacomath that for health and safety reasons, we could not stuff you in their cramped cabins. The retreat was in jeopardy. And at a high-stress leadership team meeting, we brainstormed solutions. Unlike the class of 2024, we were not going to allow you to start your Gunston career without a retreat. Maybe it was Mr. Weening or Miss Bagg or Miss Gravis, but someone said, hey, what if all of them have their own tents? But we didn't have 60 tents, and the retreat was so close that there was no way to order 60 tents. But as it happened, Gunston was buying a new van for the school, and I was headed up to Bridgeport, Connecticut to pick it up. So I flew up to Bridgeport, picked up the van, and over the next 10 hours, I stopped at every sporting goods store on the I-95 corridor between Connecticut and Maryland, cleaning out the entire affordable tent supply along the East Coast. I'm here to tell you, by the way, there is an unaffordable tent supply along the East Coast as well. I've always loved imagining the guy at the Coleman Tent Corporation, who's responsible for supply and logistics, looking at his screen that day, telling his boss, something is happening with the tent supply on the East Coast. That was your first big impact on the world, class of 2025. By the time I got to the Christiana Mall, I was still 10 tents short. But between REI, Cabela's, Dick's, Target, and Walmart, we finished the job. And so in August 2021, you started. First thing you accomplished as a class, and this was not a team building exercise that we intentionally designed, was figuring out how to erect 60 different tents from multiple different brands of varying sizes. This was both hysterical and painful to watch, and thank goodness we had a couple scouts in the group, or we might still be in that field at Camp Pacomath. The temperature on that retreat was oppressive, I remember that, but that did not crush your spirits, and the class of 2025 officially launched. Admittedly, your first year was a little bumpy, having missed the civilizing impact of an 8th grade year in person for many of you. But it soon became clear to all of us that there was something special about you as individuals and as a group. You bonded together powerfully, and you single-handedly, as a class, rekindled the fire of Gunston's culture, which had been so damaged by COVID. Supported by my amazing and talented, deeply dedicated colleagues, you returned us to normal classes, athletics, arts, Heads Holiday, base studies, and everything else that makes Gunston so special. And for that, class of 2025, I am forever grateful to you because you brought us back. So Green and White Awards is the final time I can share words of wisdom with graduating classes, and this year comes in the form of one piece of advice and one simple state of affirmation. In terms of advice, it is my hope that at Gunston, we have taught you to think deeply and for yourself, and to pursue the value of truth. Unfortunately for you, now that you have this skill, there will be many times in your life when you will realize that you are rowing upstream against popular sentiment or the beliefs of those around you. But to quote Booker T. Washington, a lie does not become truth, wrong does not become right, evil does not become good just because it is accepted by a majority. As for the affirmation, you are a talented, hardworking, strong, and especially a resilient group. And you take these qualities with you to college and beyond into a complex world. I hope that you know that for the rest of your life, you can call Gunston home. And I hope that you will come back to us many times. So, per tradition, let me take a few minutes to share a few words about the individuals. Sorry, Duracell battery there. About the individuals of the class of 2025. So, who are you? After tomorrow, Grayson Allen can trade in his Gunston dress code for a polo shirt, comfy shorts, and flip-flops. When asked about your interest in your application to Gunston, Grayson wrote, sailing, surfing, skiing, soccer, wakeboarding, and hiking. Despite your chill and sunny exterior, Grayson, you have a great work ethic that you're taking with you to college in Charleston. With the launch of the James Webb Telescope, they say we are entering a golden age of astronomical knowledge. And there is one senior, Alex Allison, whose eyes have always been fixed towards the beauty and complexity of the heavens. Alex is going to be a true star at the University of Maryland. Olivia Arthur came to Gunston after her parents finished a diplomatic assignment in Belgium. Olivia, you're a great student and athlete, but you're also one of the great diplomats of this senior class. Your warmth and ability to put people at ease is a unique skill, and I know you and BC will appreciate this. Jack Beasley, I will miss my professional golf conversation partner, as well as your scoring skills on other cross team. Your gentle, kind, and easygoing nature have kept things calm around here. You're going to thrive at Flagler. In his 9th grade letter to himself that he proudly showed to me last week, Alex Fenn had written, "Don't get expelled." Alex, well, one more day, Alex. Yeah, mission accomplished. You've transformed yourself into a gentleman, a burly D1 nationally ranked rower at LaSalle, and a fine student with a head for business. I have to confess that my sideline anxiety will subside a bit with the graduation of Gareth Borghardt, who is off to St. Mary's College of Maryland. But Gareth, here's the thing. No matter how many times that sports or life knocked you down during high school, you always picked yourself up. Now, you're a scrappy, resilient person who inspires great loyalty in others. There are 3 senior academic team competitors with whom I've spent hundreds of hours over the past 4 years, and their graduation feels to me like the end of an era. In their honor, I'm going to describe them and one more honorary member in the form of an academic team question, which typically goes from more to less obscure. So here's the first. This senior is curious, cool, kind, and bottomlessly knowledgeable about literature, video games, music, and film. She not only taught me who SZA was, but how to pronounce and spell the name. With her signature long hair, scrappy soccer defense, and a remarkable self-confidence guided by deep self-knowledge, she heads off to Boston University as she launches what I know will be a storied film career. That is Lily Brown. On my most recent base studies trip, Owen Daffrin and his famous hair jumped into the shotgun seat of Gunston's new van. He started fiddling with all of the dashboard knobs, exploring the consoles, features, symbols, and pockets, offering me pointers about how to maximize my van experience. Owen, you are a born tinkerer, so the Pennsylvania College of Technology better watch it. Cindy Dare, when you started at Gunston, your voice was so soft, I literally could not hear you, to the point where I felt like I needed to get into like the creepy old man zone to just to hear what you were saying. Not only have you found your voice at Gunston, I know that voice is only going to get stronger and louder as you launch at the Paul Mitchell Temple Academy. I first met the pre-verbal Allison Davis in a stroller next to Heron Field, where the eldest of the 4 Davis sisters was playing field hockey. Her dad, Frank, pointed at Allison and said, "She'll be coming here someday." And Allison, now you're done. You were so good, and so kind, and so thoughtful, so selfless, and you were truly a brightener of days. The University of Maryland is lucky to have you. Alexa Duncan, in your Gunston application, you wrote, "Someday I would love to travel all over the world. Italy is one of the places I would love to see." So when we traveled to Greece and Italy 2 years ago, I saw your passion for travel and deep curiosity about the world firsthand. Alexa, at the University of Tampa, I know you're going to make the most in the next stop on your life adventure. Alex Zelfenbach, I am sending your parents a 20% tuition surcharge bill for all of the questions that you asked after class. Your combination of curiosity and ambition is inspiring. Thank you for all the great moments in the classroom, on the soccer field, not Carmel, and in the hallway. The professors at Bentley better make time and watch out. There are certain bonding experiences that I've had with students over the years that I will never forget. But last year's 7-hour, rainy, foggy, traffic-filled Taylor Swift dominated the steak dinner car ride from Capitol Hill to Camelback Mountain was among the most memorable. Passenger one on that ride was Lennox Ranks. Let's just say it was not a quiet car ride. 7 hours of talking. To quote Lennox herself, Mr. Lewis, come on, I'm a yapper. Lennox cherished our hours of conversation about life, sports, politics, school, and every other topic under the sun. You're off to Elon, and I know I'm going to see you on ESPN someday. Elena Frazier is Gunston's first ever EZAC Girls Tennis Player of the Year. Elena, I know you had a conflict a few weeks ago where you missed the sports banquet, so you missed hearing our celebration of you. Let's give her a big hand for this accomplishment that she can hear. At Gunston, Elena has been a true scholar athlete, and she takes her razor-sharp mind and wit to the University of Richmond. Nicknamed by his sisters the Humble King, let me simply read Jackson Frederick's third quarter AP government report card. Jackson is like a submarine, quietly moving about his business. He looks under the surface, quietly moving about his business, paying close attention to what is happening above the surface. And finally, when the time comes, he delivers a deadly torpedo in the form of a class comment or question. As Epictetus once said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen twice as much as we talk. Jackson, you have lived that adage, and there is a lot to listen to at the University of Maryland. How's it going? I once asked Ben Gilbert. It's a great day up in the nest, Mr. Lewis. Ben, you've always been larger than life at Gunston, both in personality and in height. And thanks to the porous acoustics in the Middleton House, have ensured that I have followed the full arc of your drumming career. After a lot of practice, you've gotten pretty good. Your passion for music is deep and real, and Blackbird Academy in Nashville is a perfect landing spot. Ada Gupta is headed to the University of Maryland. Ada, you're a savvy, smart world traveler with a future in some kind of business. When I reread your application to Gunston, you wrote the most sophisticated philosophical essay on the relationship between procrastination, which I know you suffer from, and free time, which I know you love. Grace Hanlon is off to Emmanuel College in Boston. She was passenger number 2 on the Capitol Hill to Camelback trip. And when her mother called to ask her where she was sitting in the car, Grace said, I'm stuck up front with Mr. Lewis. Grace, you're a talented student athlete, an organizational Jedi master. In my next life, I want to come back as one of your notebooks. Organized, tabbed, thoughtful, and very colorful. Tanner Ash, like a stealth airplane, you've done a skillful job of trying to stay under the radar here at Gunston. But I've got bad news for you. We've spotted you. Tanner takes his intelligence, tech skills, drive to succeed, and those ever-present headphones to Penn State in Abington. My most recent base studies trip had dodgy weather, but there was one student who was always on time, polite, curious, engaged, ready to go and prepared. The right shoes, waterproof bag, appropriate rain gear, etc. A quintessential Eagle Scout. Trevor Jansen at Gunston, you have been trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Good luck at St. Mary's College of Maryland. On R.P. Johnson's application to Gunston, I did a word search. He mentioned the word golf 9 times, including in the letter to his French pen pal. R.P., it was a pleasure to meet you this year. With your intelligence and demeanor, I think you're going to spend a lot of time in the future on the fairway, both on the course and in life. He's off to play golf for Washington College. If there was ever a Gunston Hunger Games, 100% of my money would be on Nina Johnson, who heads to Connecticut College. Nina, you're tough, savvy, smart, motivated, and I will truly miss that skeptical side eye. So great that you're sitting over there. Your soccer skills and that wry sense of humor. In my class this year, Wiley Keegan began nearly every day with, Mr. Lewis, I heard on the daily that, and then I would get his daily current events update. You're a great guy, Wiley. I really feel like you've hit your stride this year. You have a dynamic and active mind, you're a beloved friend, and you're going to love the intellectual environment at James Madison. Phoebe Kelly, Gunston's volleyball dominance began with you. And I've been impressed with your growth these 4 years. When you applied to Gunston, you wrote, I love learning about how things work and how things came to be the way they are. The liberal arts culture at Washington College will be a perfect for you. The only senior with a day named after him by Queen Anne's County is our school president, Logan Kelly, whose Eagle Scout ceremony was one of the most impressive student events I've ever attended. Logan, you're a natural leader with a can-do attitude who has made a difference. I know you're going to do the same in Big Ten. Is there anyone who laughs as loudly, or as heartily, or as often as Pearl Contreras. Pearl, we're going to miss your zest for life, your room-filling laughter, your loyalty to friends, and of course that soulful singing voice that you take to Berklee College of Music. The Gunston stage and frankly the atrium will not be the same with the graduation of Ezra Lilly, who is off to Warren Wilson. Ezra, your flair for the dramatic is only equaled by your genuine kindness, sense of humor, acceptance of others, and your deep capacity for friendship. Allie Lutz, like one of your booming serves on the volleyball court, you were heading over the net of Gunston and into the court of St. Mary's with tremendous power and momentum. You are a sensitive and kind-hearted person, and I'm so proud of what you've accomplished here. As an 8th grader, Victoria McGlashian wrote in her application, something that is important to me is relationships. I always want to have a good, fun, and trusting relationship with my friends, family, and acquaintances. And I would never want anything to sabotage these relationships. Victoria, you have lived this philosophy, and both inside and outside the classroom. I've cherished the relationship that we've developed, and I wish you the best at Wake Forest. During the school day, the low-key V. McCluskey keeps the place calm, but once soccer practice starts, your fierce desire to move the ball forward and to win is impossible to hide. Nothing will ever stop you from reaching whatever goals that you set for yourself. This lover of the environment is headed to the University of Vermont. Isla McCollum heads to the University of Maryland as an honored Banneker Scholar. Isla, when asked in your Gunston application how people would describe you, you wrote loyal, caring, and sometimes overworking. But the work has been good. As a student, musician, and rower, you have made a mark. Okay, this is academic teamer number 2. Hailing from Annapolis, this quiet and reserved young man, a twin, once memorably said, Barcelona, in a tournament answer, and nearly froze to death on a boat ride in Chicago as a freshman because he was too polite to ask for a jacket. I probably should have noticed. He went on to score nearly 3,000 points and was also an essential and brilliant member of our award-winning robotics and sailing teams. Who is this student who's headed to the University of Maryland, likely the first stop before he either gets his PhD, starts his own tech firm, wins a Nobel Prize, or all 3? That is Justin McCubbin. I'm sure that James McDonald will be the only student ever who joins Gunston as a senior, having arrived from Arkansas, and then leaves us for a university in the European Union. James, you've been here a year, but you have had an outsized impact as a student, athlete, and friend. I only wish we had more time with you this year as you head off to IE Madrid. How does the gentlest person in the world also double as the fiercest sailor and robot builder I know? Tommy McGady, the number of hours you've spent representing Gunston on the water and the robotics lab over the past 4 years is unequaled. And I'll miss your calm, kind, and thoughtful energy, which you take to St. Mary's College of Maryland. There are 3 kinds of dress code violations. The sweat can't wearing comfort seekers. The you can't tell me what to wear rebellious types. And then there are the Alex McIntyres of the world, those who just have too much style for the limited choices we offer. Alex, between your personal style and your great stage voice, that Edgar Allan Poe narration was unforgettable. You're definitely ready for life on the left coast. Best of luck at Cascadia College near Seattle. I once asked a chess club member who the best player was. They said, Ethan McWilliams. He's also the class's best race car driver. Ethan, having taught you this year, I have seen your intellectual horsepower up close. You're a deep thinker, probing questioner, and a connector. And speaking of horsepower, I know that you're going to make that drive to Southern Methodist University in Dallas loudly and in record time. Caroline Miranda, when you were in 9th grade, I had no idea what would come out of your mouth. And on the recent base studies trip that we took together, I also had no idea what was going to come out of your mouth. But your filter is definitely improved. Caroline, have always spoken truth to power. You are funny, you are motivated to succeed, and you surround yourself with fiercely loyal friends. St. Mary's College, watch out. Okay, quiet please. That's for you, Eli. This academic teamer wandered into the club this year after getting lost in the math club for several years and became a team star. One of our school's most notable robotics engineers, sailors, taekwondo masters, and with a wicked, zippy wit and voice made for radio, he made for a great base studies companion. And I know he's going to keep the dorms and classrooms lively at UMBC. That is Eli Moore. I once did a recommendation call for a job candidate, and the recommender said, look, I just have to say something. Just hire him. He's one of the good guys. Kaz Morris, scholar, champion soccer, tennis player, and swimmer friend, and as well-mannered a person as I know, you, my friend, are one of the good guys. Good luck at St. Joe's. You've probably heard that our current president has been referring to Canada recently as the potential 51st state. But having gotten to know the smart, savvy, thoughtful, and highly motivated half-Canadian Louise Mulock, I think we're probably more likely to end up as the 11th province. Louise, you're a remarkable member of this community. I'll miss your steadiness, warmth, and humor. She and her Blue Jays hat are off to the Great White North at the University of Western Ontario. A few weeks ago at the sports banquet, I talked about the sidelines at Gunston. If you're looking for Tori Nestle, head to the Gunston sideline. She'll either be on the court, fighting for the ball, in the manager's box, diligent, keeping stats or score, or in the bleachers, loudly cheering on her classmates. Tori, College of Charleston is getting a great person and community member. Benta Owino, our mother heron. When I first met you as a 3-year-old at Chesapeake College's Early Childhood Learning Center, I wondered who had dropped off this 2.5-foot tall, 45-year-old graduate student into preschool. Such was your poise, maturity, and leadership, which is never, and I know never will waver. This future Mother Phoenix dances off to Elon University. Another key fixture on the Gunston sidelines and on the tennis court was Ellery Philippon. Sometimes students describe themselves better than I ever could. Ellery, in your Gunston application, in addition to learning that I could die of cyanide poisoning if I ate too many apple seeds, I also learned about you. I'm shy, but once you get to know me, I become social and warm, a polite and kind person with much courage and confidence. And as I warm up to you, I go into a fun and social friend. True this, Ellery, and good luck at Miami University of Ohio. Combining a relentless commitment to community service and her jazzy singing voice, Maggie Porciello is off to Chesapeake College. Maggie, we're going to miss your Star-Spangled Banners in this space, your steady confidence, and your low-key sense of humor. Elizabeth Bucky, you have a truly special capacity, a willingness to exit your comfort zone. Alzar, triathlon, and many other examples come to mind. Don't ever lose this, as it's one of the central qualities that keeps a person growing, evolving, and thriving. You're going to crush it. Whether it's Tom Petty songs, current events, or health information, I'm here to tell you, Max Kin's brain is full of facts, and some opinions as well. He is a proud skeptic of authority. Max, I enjoyed our base studies trip together, and good luck at Anna Rush. Okay, the final member of the academic team, this cookie-baking, big book-reading, Anita Rush, video-loving student, truly has a passion for knowing everything about everything, and is a relentless vacuum of information and a superior student. In 30 years, no student has made me laugh harder than she did several weeks ago with her meme video imitations in Chicago, and to spend endless hours with her on trips in class has been a great privilege. She's off to Dickinson, where with pride she's going to say, "Go Red Devils." That is Margaret Randolph. The final passenger on the epic Capitol Hill to Camelback trip was Olivia Runts, who heads to the University of Maryland. Olivia, it was actually being confined in a car. Confined in a car with you for 7 hours that I really gained an appreciation for your subtle but powerful intelligence and your really good sense of humor and good cheer. I'm going to miss you. Evelyn Russ is off to study social work at the University of Vermont. Evelyn and I enjoyed our many conversations on base studies, and in a world that needs as much empathy and kindness as we can get, I know that you will always be there for the most vulnerable among us. The gifted musician, Catherine Sadler, is off to Boston University. Catherine, in your application to Gunston, when asked what one thing you would do over, you said, quote, "I would have broadened my friend group circles earlier." I have a feeling that is not what you would write about the last 4 years, as you've become one of the most caring and beloved friends on campus. I'm going to miss your warmth, kindness, and modesty. I've often learned that students who only spend half their time at Gunston often appreciate it twice as much as those who start in 9th grade. Kate Seibert, from the first day at Gunston, you have truly belonged here, and you leave us for Holy Cross as an accomplished student athlete. Emma Sharp, it has been fun to watch you on the pickleball court, to converse with you in the hallways about things large and small. So Emma, for the first time in my life, I've missed someone in my list. So here's what I'm gonna do.
I think you missed Braden too.
I didn't miss Braden's gonna go last. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this together, and after Braden talks, I'm gonna get it. Okay? Apologies for that. Was there ever a more perfectly named person than Grace Shepard? Her first name, Grace, describes a young woman who is unfailingly kind, polite, and well-mannered, and she's also a shepherd, keeping her flock of friends away from the wolves and making her teammates better on the athletic field, where she is an elite athlete headed to Central Michigan. Good luck, Grace. Within hours of handing diplomas tomorrow, I'll dust off my extensive Hawaiian shirt collection for 10 brief but glorious weeks of very comfort. And literally every day I button up such a shirt, Jackson, I will be thinking about you. You're headed off to Washington College. You've always been your own man. You're a kind and thoughtful gentleman, dedicated to friends and family, and a nature-loving beekeeper, anthropologist, and businessman with a sense of adventure. When Zach Steinberg, who was off to Flagler College, was in 9th grade, I overheard some seniors talking about him. They said, yeah, he's the 9th grade kid that looks like a man. Zach, you have been the man at Gunston. I saw firsthand this year what a bright, curious, and thoughtful student you are, and you've been the beating heart of Gunston athletics since your first day of preseason. When I do these speeches, there are some students I know that when I research their Gunston application to Gunston, I am going to find some gold nuggets. Prospective student Jackson Stranahan shared with the admissions committee that soap makes water better. You'll just find out to me later. And his theme song would be the Glorious Domination Bobby Roode theme song. Good song. And if he went to a desert island, he would take his dogs and an underrated item, his toothbrush. And my favorite, you noted that you're easy to talk to when people are feeling down. Jackson, stay sunny, and great things await you at High Point. Mia Walker takes her mammoth artistic talent. Where's Mia? No, mammoth artistic talent next year to Savannah College of Art and Design. Mia, it's been my privilege to know you since you were a really little kid, and you've brought so much to Gunston as an artist, student, literary leader, force at the volleyball net, treasured friend, and a champion for kindness and inclusion. Riley Walker is off to Lebanon Valley College to play lacrosse. Riley, you are a human cheerleader, the glue of your friendship group, a Gunston caring to your core, and frankly, a blast to be around. Your love for friends, teammates, and the school has been inspiring, and you're also a darn good lacrosse player. Another great artist, Aiden Watson, is also headed to the Savannah College of Art and Design. When asked on his Gunston application what 3 things he would take to a desert island, he said, a boat, a fuel, and a sub sandwich. He continued, if a boat is not allowed, I would take, remember 3 things, a knife, flint, steel, and rope. So that's 4 things, okay? But hey, you've always combined your relentless inborn creativity with a little good-natured rule bending. I will miss you, Aiden. You've kept us engaged, alert, and highly entertained. When asked the question on his Gunston application, why do you want to attend Gunston? Bennett Wertz, who launches at Anne Arundel, replied, honestly, I'm not sure I want to attend Gunston. Bennett, it's impossible to imagine this class without you as a friend, student, and a fast-moving, surf and ski-loving, heads holiday-crushing, adrenaline junkie athlete who I know someday will spend some time living out west. And Evan Zottarelli is off to West Virginia. Evan, if you were a room in a house, you would definitely be the weight room. You are the definition of strong. A strong student, a strong athlete, a strong friend, a strong member of this community, and an Iron Man in the gym. Let's hear it for the class of 2025. Okay, there's one final senior that I have not yet mentioned, and since introducing him leads to the next part of the program, I saved him for last. The Samuel A. Middleton Award, named in honor of one of our 2 founders, is Gunston's valedictorian, the senior with the most distinguished academic record in the class. The student is academically exceptional, earning a perfect 4.0 grade GPA across the most rigorous course load ever taken at Gunston, including 12 AP courses. His intellectual strengths and interests range from computer science to Spanish, English literature, math, government, physics, and beyond. Indeed, we expect to learn in July that he will earn the rare distinction of a national AP scholar. He's also a person of exceptional attitude and character. Outside the classroom, he's the beating heart of the rowing team in the math club, and he has volunteered his time in activities ranging from Horizons to the Delaware Aerospace Academy. Having taught this year's Middleton Award winner, I've seen the superpowers of his mind up close. Indeed, here was a regular occurrence in class. He would ask me a highly abstract, multi-clause and sub-clause question using large vocabulary words. When you hear a speech, this will all make sense. I would then try to paraphrase the question back to him using simpler language, saying, does that capture what you're asking? To which he would regularly respond, not really. Then I would have to turn to Lily or Olivia or Lennox or some other member of the class and then try to translate for me. Hey, Mr. Lewis, I think he's trying to say, sometimes I would eventually understand what you were asking, but other times I simply threw up my hands and tried to distract him by poking fun of his home state of Delaware with its 3 paltry electoral votes compared to Maryland's 10. But even then, he proved to be an able and fierce defender of his home state. As you will soon see, he's an intellectual, philosophical, kind, and ethical person. So please welcome this remarkably worthy recipient of this year's Middleton Award, Mr. Brady Manning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm most honored to have both your time and attention this morning. It is a bitter truth that no amount of skills in logic, calculus, physics, statistics, nor chemistry truly prepares one for the task of public speaking. As such, it was likely that without the wisdom of Mr. Lewis, you all would be trapped here listening to me blabber on about intangible subjects without saying much of enduring value. Perhaps this will still happen, so if it does, be sure to tune out my nonsense. What I was told to consider most primarily was the necessity to remain grounded while preparing what to speak with you all. When thinking on this, it became apparent that this quality of groundedness is something truly special, and something our class has become quite conscious of being a luxury. This is to say, we do not live in grounded times. Over these last 4 years, it's become more and more apparent with every passing day that our world is becoming far more complicated. Developments are moving at such unprecedented speeds that it's becoming near impossible to keep both sane and informed. We've been bombarded with headlines every few months about some new issue slated to upend the status quo, whether it be the discovery of Teflon ingredients contaminating the blood of every person in the nation, artificial intelligence being projected to annihilate entry-level white-collar positions, or polarization and intolerance towards one another being at all-time highs. Truly feels like every day we are opening a new Pandora's box, with the calamities of which are never fully understood until long after we finish thinking about it. Such conclusions are no doubt factors our class has needed to consider when thinking on how we will handle the uncertainty of the future. But it is truly folly to leave this conclusion unrebutted as is. The fact of the matter is that this outlook does not describe the entire story. Just as Zeus will hope to remain in Pandora's box after plague and pestilence quit it, I find it a rational conclusion that the people we have gathered here today, both in our graduating class and in the greater community at Gunston, present living proof of a similar hope. It is easy to remark then that the class we've occupied over the last 4 years has been something truly special. Through the conduit of our most honorable and dedicated teachers, we have become respectable individuals prepared for the most difficult prospects of professional life. We are comprised of talented designers and engineers, of dedicated environmental activists, of prospective medical practitioners, of creative writers and essayists, of stunning artists, of gifted musicians, of skillful athletes, of distinguished coders, and of incredibly knowledgeable trivia junkies, all just to name a few. We spent countless hours of hardship in charting our way forward through commendable course rigor, while also finding sufficient time to enjoy the company of one another and keep our experience tangible and enjoyable. But of course, not much of this would have even been possible if it weren't for the greater community at Gunston. While many of us may not be conscious of it, we are indebted to the good work our teachers do here to ensure that we are best prepared for what lies ahead. We are truly lucky to have teachers that are here because they have something valuable to offer, ahead of any paycheck, obligation, or external factor. As such, I would like to sincerely thank our teachers for your notable effort, endless wisdom, and responsibility for our current heights and successes. With our class and experiences as example, becomes reasonable to recognize that there remains a contrary to many of our modern worries. For every company mishandling and covering up contaminations, there is a much larger cohort seeking to hold them accountable. For every AI company ignoring the consequences of their work to increase their share price, there is yet another applying deep learning for breakthroughs in drug research and production. For every poor faith actor sowing distrust and dissension among the populace, there is a community like Gunston, comprised of a talented student body and dedicated faculty that seeks rational, grounded conclusions through discussion and tolerance of ideas. However, what has yet to be highlighted is the means by which we act on this hope and actually produce the change we seek. While the common thought may be that doing so requires the effort of the Newtons and Heisenbergs of our time, the fact of the matter is that our contributions can be just as effective. Because of this, if we are to seek our own success and maximize our impact in whatever space we find ourselves in, cumulatively, we can do our own parts. Thinking about the virtues we can pursue to find such successes, it is common for people to immediately consider things like inherent talents, natural intuition, or an unreasonable work ethic to be the determining factors of true success. But in my times, I find that this ignores the underlying foundations. The fact of the matter is that talent and intuition is something wholly tangible in our lives. The only requirement is that we actually build it. Of course, this is not easy, but I find that this is best done through keeping true to one simple habit: introspection. If there were any advice I could give to help us navigate our current and future times, especially as we venture into odd and unfamiliar territory, I would say to ensure that you are always thinking about where you are and where you've come from. Doing so will lead naturally into other beneficial habits, like developing perspective in situations of difficulty, developing true intrinsic motivation that will ensure self-fulfillment in absence of external benefit, and, by proxy, developing strong talent and intuition by means of understanding that your abilities are direct products of what you put in. Just as we're told constantly that saving just a small amount of money each paycheck can compound into wealth down the line, just a small amount of true, self-motivated introspection each day can compound into reaching the best selves we can manage. Now, I have one last interjection that I feel obligated to add. On the subject of nature versus nurture, I find myself far more on the side of nurture, for reasons I don't think you all have the time nor patience to endure. This being said, I would like to give a moment of genuine, sincere thanks to those that are responsible for who I am today and the reasons why you're all stuck here listening to my nonsense. First, I'm eternally grateful to Dr. Wilson. Your dedication as both a great teacher and trustable advisor is the principal reason behind my love and passion for physics. I would be a large more degree more purposeless if it weren't for your guidance. To my good friend Trevor, I will always treasure the countless hours we spent playing Smash Bros. During Gunston Experience instead of doing our homework. Now, I say hour, but it really was just me procrastinating. Your presence as a consistently approachable friend has been a large contributor to maintaining a level head amid pressures and expectations. Lastly, even though I know you didn't want this, I would like to thank my parents. Your unending and unrelenting support and tolerance is the basis for all of the thoughts I've shared today. If it weren't for your excellent parenting, none of this would have been possible. Thank you everyone once more for both your time and attention, and congratulations to the class of 2025. We'll make waves, I'm sure.
Okay. Emma Sharp. In all good ways, Emma Sharp is a reflection of her name. She is a sharp observer of human behavior. She has the capacity to offer a very sharp look when those people have displeased her. She's a sharp-witted classmate. She has a sharp intellect. She's a sharp student. And her pickleball shots are also exceptionally sharp. Emma, kindly accept my apologies and my profound mortification. Another important thing you've done at Gunston is to allow me to offer all of you another piece of advice. Sometimes you can't ad-lib your way out of a boneheaded mistake, and it's best to come clean. Somehow in this 31-page double-spaced document that derives from multiple documents, your description is finished. And I went to bed too late last night to double-check. So I owe you one, which you can come back and cash in after you come back from returning from Miami University. Bye-bye. Okay, the Paul M. Long Award is given to the school's most outstanding 11th grader as, this award is usually given at the end of the program, but today it's being given out of order. As the person who is awarding it, I have a little bit of a challenge today. My daughter is actually graduating from the 8th grade at country school at the same time, nearly the same time as this ceremony. Therefore, after I give this award out, I'm going to need to step away and watch the rest of this on live stream. Go Green. Okay, the Paul M. Long Award, given to the school's most outstanding 11th grader, is voted upon by the faculty, is named after Mr. Long, who served as head at Gunston for 19 years, from 1967 to 1986. When he took the headship of Gunston, the school was about to be shut down by the state, and Paul, with his forceful, colorful, and persuasive personality, personally lobbied the state to keep the school open for one more year, guaranteeing he could raise the funds to keep us open and meet all state requirements for operation. The state agreed, the school kept going, and it grows even today. I knew Paul personally during my early years as head of school before he passed, and I loved sitting with him at his house at the end of North Hibernia Road, hearing about his service in World War II and stories about Gunston as a girls' boarding school. He's in our Athletics Hall of Fame, and almost every part of our program bears his fingerprints. And our academic building, the Long Academic Building, is named in his honor. This year's winner is a spirited student, athlete, and human being. He's a dedicated community service member, community servant and volunteer, a rower, engineer, creative writer, an academic team member, and one of the most dedicated school leaders, having served as ninth grade class rep, SGA secretary, and this year as SGA vice president. While I cannot announce officially that he has been elected SGA president next year, he did run unopposed, so he should feel pretty good about his chances. In the 3 years I've known him, I've never heard him utter an unkind or impolite word, and he is held in total respect by his friends, classmates, and teachers. I'm proud to present the Paul Long Award to 11th grader Eamon Shaw. I now hand the podium over to Mr. Josh Redden.
Good morning. I would like to announce the Anita Grross Athletics Awards for today. And I would also like to highlight the awards namesake, Miss Anita Grross. This year in particular, so many wonderful student athletes had caused us to go deep into the records to see if it was a first of all time. And I just got a true glimpse of how much this woman has dedicated her life to this program, and we are truly standing on her shoulders. I know she hates when I do this, but I make sure to do it every time. Thank you very much for everything that you've done for the school, Ms. Grross. Can we get up, Ms. Grross? first and only Gunston athletic director for 37 years. During her tenure at Gunston, she guided and expanded the athletics department from a small girls-only boarding school program to a robust interscholastic, coeducational, multi-sport program. Aside from the generous and invaluable mentorship that she continues to offer me, her list of accomplishments and contributions to the school and the athletic department are endless. Therefore, in her honor, it is my pleasure to present the Anita Grross Athletics Awards to this year's recipients, who have all demonstrated service to their teams and teammates, service to the school and the community, and who live out the values that we strive to highlight in each of our students. This year, we'll be honoring 3 recipients. In a class full of many, many, many worthy candidates, I will list some of the most notable accomplishments for all 3 of our winners. Now, our first recipient. This student's high school athletics career has been marked by humble leadership, multi-sport excellence, and championships. This student is a 12-star award winner. However, not only did this student play 3 sports a year every year, this student represented Gunston on the most sports teams of any of his peers, playing on 7 different sports teams at Gunston, including soccer, cross country, triathlon, futsal, basketball, swimming, and tennis. The student earned MIAA and/or EZAC all-conference honors for soccer and swimming. The Gunston boys swim team is currently the only Gunston team competing in the MIAA B Conference. At the B Conference Swim Championships against schools like St. Mary's and Severn, this student was a key member of the 200 freestyle relay team that won a bronze medal, the 200 medley relay team that placed fourth overall, and then individually earning a 4th place finish at the backstroke, ultimately helping the boys swim team finish in the top 4 in the first season in the MIAA B Conference. In the MIAA individual tennis tournament, this student was seeded as its number 6 seed for the 3rd singles division. This student upset the number 3 seed from Glenelg to advance to the MIAA semifinals, where he ultimately lost to the eventual tournament champion, the number 2 seed from Indian Creek. This student has won 4 EZAC championships across tennis, swimming, and cross country. This student has been a member of a Gunston boys swim team that had an undefeated season, and this student was a member of the boys varsity soccer team that has been the EZAC or MIAA runner-ups for the past 3 years in a row, including this past MIAA final, which was played at UBC Stadium. In other words, in this student's 12-season career, they have played or won a championship 7 times. Recognizing his humble leadership, 3 separate teams voted this student as their Coach's Award winner, speaking to how highly his coaches regard his character. For these accomplishments and many more, I'm proud to announce our first recipient, Mr. Kaziz Morris. Now for our next recipient. This student is actually our first ever 13-star winner. During the 23-24 winter sports season, this student competed full-time for both our varsity boys basketball team and our varsity boys swim team. During that season, this student represented Gunston in 9 out of 11 swim meets and 20 out of 20 basketball games, since the boys basketball team made it all the way to EZAC finals that year, which was the first time since 2000. To help frame this achievement, earning a 12-star is challenging enough to where less than 25% of each senior class accomplishes it. So to have the drive and determination to play a 13th season is extremely impressive. Therefore, we had a 13-star award made for you to commemorate this tremendous achievement. However, not only did this student just participate for 13 seasons, but was also a key contributor. The student has won a total of 5 EZAC championships across cross country and swimming. The student has been a member of a Gunston boys swim team that went undefeated, as well as a member of the boys cross country team that won back-to-back EZAC championships, where he was a 3-time member of the EZAC all-conference cross country team. For these accomplishments and many more, I'd like to present our next recipient with the Anita Rush Award, Mr. Zach Steinberg. Now for our final recipient. This student has been a standout field hockey and lacrosse player for Gunston and has an exceptional high school and club career. The student has one of the very few high school athletes that has made the EASAC All-Conference team for field hockey all 4 years of her career. As a dual sport athlete, this student nearly accomplished the same in lacrosse, making the EASAC All-Conference girls lacrosse team for 3 consecutive years, highlighting her consistent performance and impact in multiple sports. This student was recognized by the Field Hockey Coaches Association of Maryland numerous times, being selected to the All-Mid-Shore team in 2022, 2023, and 2024. She was named the All-Eastern Shore team in 2022 and received All-State Honorable Mention in 2023. This student represented Gunston at the 2024 Field Hockey Coaches Association of Maryland Senior All-Star Game, underscoring her status as one of the top players in the region. This student has been recognized as a national level. She was named as the National Field Hockey Coaches Association watch list for the 2024 season, identifying her as a top high school athlete with the potential for all-region and all-American honors. This student was also earned a spot on the NFHCA National Academic Squad, both her junior and senior years, recognizing her academic achievements alongside her athletic commitments. And she also made the NFHCA's Senior Impact Team this year, which honors those student athletes who demonstrate exceptional character, leadership, and athletic performance. Your Heron family will be cheering you on as you play Division I field hockey next year at Central Michigan University. Go Chippewas. We know that you will represent them as well as you have represented us. This next year, the next Anita Grross Athletic Awards recipient is Ms. Grace Shepard. Now for this year's 12-star award winners. Some logistics before I begin, I will read through the names of the winners as one big list. So please hold your applause until all the names have been read. Students, as you hear your name, please come and stand in front of the stage, forming a line shoulder to shoulder, and Mrs. Martin and Ms. Redding will hand you your award. While the students are making their way to the front, I will read off the requirements to earn 12-star honors. Now this year's 12-star award winners are Alex Elfenbein, Lennox Franks, Jackson Frederick, Trevor Jansen, Thomas McGeady, Kaziz Morris, Olivia Runs, Zach Steinberg, and Bennett Wirtz. What is the 12-star award? Years ago, Ms. Anita Grross implemented the 12-star award to recognize those student athletes that for the past 12 seasons have dedicated themselves to their Gunston Interscholastic Athletic teams. Being a member of Gunston Interscholastic Athletic team for all 3 seasons for 4 years straight, all while balancing a rigorous Gunston academic course load, requires a level of commitment, drive, and discipline that merits recognition and appreciation. To all of our 12 and 13-star winners, on behalf of the school, your teammates, and coaches, thank you so very much for everything that you have done for Gunston Athletics. Now I'll call Ms. Larimore for the next award.
Good morning. As many of you know, I, alongside Dr. Ryan Asperound, co-direct the Gunston Players. and this year our cast and crew worked on a bit of a throwback with our production of You Can't Take It With You. Over the past 4 years, our stage has been home to many memorable moments, but few have been as consistently spirited as the ones brought to life by this year's recipient of the Theater Award. This actor has been a major part of our productions from the moment he stepped foot on campus. As early as 9th grade, he was already landing leading roles that demanded charisma, nuance, and the kind of bold choices that young actors are often still working up the nerve to make. He not only made them, he made them look easy. Whether portraying eccentric, energetic characters or stepping in with seamless improvisation when live theater throws its usual curveballs, this actor brought a joyful presence to every rehearsal and every production. He doesn't just act, he animates, and he makes the stage a place of fun and freedom and creative risk, and in doing so gives everyone else permission to rise into their own characters more fully. He's been the kind of performer that every cast dreams of having, fearless and generous, and we truly don't know how the show will go on without him. It's with a mix of gratitude and pride that we present the 2025 Theater Award to Ezra Lilly.
Good morning, Gunnison community. My name is Mackenzie Wiseman, and I am the new music electives teacher here at Gunnison. I'm so honored to be up here this morning presenting this year's music award at the end of my first year here. Reflecting on this year of firsts, I was incredibly moved by the dedication and passion these students, all of you, have for music. They show up for music every day, every period. Why are you in the music room? Which is when I deliver the teacher classic I've been practicing. I hope it's good. Where are you supposed to be right now? In deciding this year's music award recipient, along with Dr. Ryan Aspriano, we wanted to award an individual that has truly gone above and beyond, risen to each challenge. This student has a passion for music and music production. They have studied new music in the pursuit of excellence, and they have tackled technical barriers to understand and execute a higher level of musical performance. And most importantly, speaking of music, of course, only music, have developed a sense of maturity. Furthermore, this student has given their time, after school, early mornings, and weekends, yes, to the development of not only themselves, but the Gunston Music and Theater program. From setting up the stage, to rocking out, and tearing it all down again, please join me in congratulating this year's music award to Ben Gilbert. I'd like to invite Ms. Connor to present the next award.
Morning. There's a corner of the art room that became legendary this year, a place where oil paint and brushes and canvases were always strewn about in what could only be described as creative chaos. We have dubbed it Aiden's Corner. It wasn't just a workspace, it was a reflection of how Aiden approaches art. Fully immersed, deeply committed, and always in motion. For Aiden, art isn't an elective, it's a compulsion. When he gets an idea, it must be made. In that corner sat a student so focused on painting that getting his attention often required saying his name repeatedly and waving your arms about. To my knowledge, Aiden created the largest painting in the history of the Gunston Art Room. It's so large that it's considered a mural in the science department hallway. To my knowledge, since his freshman year, Aiden has taken nearly every art course we offer, many of them twice. His portfolio shows not only growth and talent, but an impressive willingness to experiment, to refine, and to push his own boundaries. Aiden's dedication, creativity, and drive have made him not just an artist, but a presence in the art room. One we'll truly miss. It's my honor to present the Art Department Award to the master of the mega canvas, king of the cluttered corner, and the only student whose backpack may qualify as mixed media art installation, Aiden Watson.
The Computer Science Award recipient is an individual who, throughout their time at Gunston, has demonstrated a mastery of code and leadership. This individual has taken all available coding classes and has maintained perfect marks throughout. More proactively, this individual has championed the program this year as a classroom assistant and intern. For all of his talents, initiative, genuine passion for technology, and his first place finish at the Eastern Shore High School Coding Competition this year, it is my absolute honor to present this year's Computer Science Award to Justin McCubbin.
The Math Award is given every year to a student who demonstrates a strong aptitude, genuine interest, and high engagement in mathematics. Courses completed, grades for each course, class participation, club membership, and extracurricular activities are considered. This remarkable student has taken every math course Gunston has to offer. In his senior year, he enrolled in both AP Calculus BC and AP Statistics. His passion for math has been unmistakable, recognized and admired by both of his teachers and peers. Over his 4 years at Gunston, he has consistently stood out as one of the top performers. In addition to his outstanding academic performance, this student has been an active member of the Math Club and has represented Gunston in various math competitions, most notably in 2023 at Salisbury University, where he helped the Gunston team secure a third place finish. This student consistently demonstrated a highly collaborative spirit, engaging with peers in a way that was inquisitive, kind, and thoughtful. During problem-solving activities, he approached challenges with genuine curiosity and encouraged those around him to think more deeply. I taught this student for only 1 year, his senior year in AP Stats, and I can say it was truly a privilege to teach him. When I asked Miss Jane about this student, she said he would come to my room with chemistry formulas and we would figure out where they came from using calculus. He would come to class to review the homework with the other students and would explain anything to them. He would teach others in the class the science applications of what they were currently learning in math. And in his sophomore year, he would eat a bag of flaming hot Cheetos after every test to reward himself. It is my pleasure to give this year's Gunston Math Award to Braden Ham.
Good morning. The Science and Engineering Award is presented to the graduating senior who's made the most outstanding contributions to our club's projects. This year's recipient,
has demonstrated both deep technical skill and the rare ability to lead large, complex problems by staying organized and keeping the team focused on the goal. As captain of Gunston's robotics team, this year he guided his peers through every stage of building a working competition robot. From developing a game strategy to designing innovative mechanisms, integrating systems, troubleshooting, and refining performance. Under his leadership, the team navigated a series of unexpected challenges and emerged with the most reliable and functional robot Gunston has ever produced. On Visit Back Day, even 8th graders were able to operate all of the robotics functions and capabilities without breaking it. At the competition, his team earned first place for most innovative design. Judges praised their work as simple and effective solutions to complex problems. It's my honor to award this year's Science and Engineering Award to Eli Moore.
The science department selects an award recipient based on 3 main parameters. 1, an intense curiosity about the subject matter. 2, an extremely hard work ethic. And 3, a willingness to tackle challenging concepts by embracing the initial struggle and then persevering until the point of mastery. To us, this award is not necessarily about the highest grade of single class, who took the most AP classes in total. The science recipient this year has shown proficiency in both physical and life science classes. This student embodies all of the characteristics we look for in a recipient and more. This student's work ethic is motivated by their joy for learning, critical thinking ability, and problem-solving skills. This student's capacity to transfer knowledge from one discipline of science to the next is noteworthy, as is their ability to recover, unfazed, from setbacks while achieving their goals. Though quiet and reserved in demeanor, I could always count on the student to lead a lab group, provide thoughtful insights and discussions, and answer any question concisely. Their contributions deepen everyone's understanding of the content. I would be remiss without saying the student questioned the paper consumption of both Dr. Goodall and me on the daily. The recipient took AP Bio, AP Environmental Science, and Honors Physics. Additionally, they led the robotics team and were very active in the Rocketry Club throughout their time here. The Science Award this year goes to Trevor Jansen.
John P. Vest was president and participated in some of the key historical events of the 20th century. Because of this, we knew the importance of history in understanding the world we live in. In 1918, Vest entered the U.S. Naval Academy at the age of 16 while the country was at war. He moved up through the ranks, and after World War II, was in command of the aircraft carrier FDR. Captain Vest was a graduate of Gunston and served on the Board of Trustees. It is in his honor that the Award for Excellent History is given. This year's recipient of the Best Award has demonstrated all the attributes of an excellent student of history. This year's winner's vast historical knowledge was a bedrock of the academic team, and their open-minded curiosity and insights into historical developments will serve them well in the future. This year's Best History Award goes to Margaret Randolph.
Buenos dias. Good morning. The Spanish award is given to the senior who has achieved extraordinary production, comprehension, and interpretation of the language, while also demonstrating a genuine interest in the Hispanic cultures. Throughout his 4 years at Gunston, this student has been remarkably dedicated and committed to learning the Spanish language and explore the culture. At the end of his first semester at Gunston, Braden approached me after class to politely share that he believed I had placed him in the wrong course. At the time, I had no idea that he found the class challenging. His Spanish skills had already shown great potential and growth. I reassured him that he belonged in the class and challenged him to stick with it. Braden, of course, embraced the challenge. Over the next 3 years and a half, he worked diligently and became a role model for his peers. I especially admire the way he brought our class stories to life, fully committing to each role by acting with energy and creativity. His enthusiasm not only enriched our classroom experience, but also inspired his classmates to stay involved and engaged. Jaime, ha sido un verdadero placer conocerte y trabajar contigo durante 4 años. Eres un gran ejemplo de lo que es el compromiso con la búsqueda y la exploración del conocimiento. Te felicito por decir sí a esta oportunidad y creer en el potencial que yo vi en ti. It is a pleasure and privilege to give the 2024-2025 Spanish Award to Braden Hammond.
So the Sandy Slocum Spears Award is named in honor of Sandy Slocum, who was a very talented writer who focused on fiction and poetry and had a passion for English and literature. Sandy was a great person. She died one day while driving in a car with her father. She was with her 4-year-old son, and the father was driving. He survived, but Sandy and her son did not. So you know this is the 7th time that I've had the honor of presenting the Sandy Slocum Award, but this time feels a little bit different. This time, I'm especially grateful just to be up here talking about storytelling. If you read Mr. Lewis's community letter back in January, you might recall his reference to the Atlantic article, The Elite College Students Who Can't Read Books, which describes how many students now arrive at even top colleges unprepared to read multiple books in a semester. That article stayed with me because it reminds me how rare and special Gunston is. We've created a culture where reading, writing, and storytelling are not only valued, they are celebrated. And that culture doesn't just happen, it's something that we build together. But as Kurt Vonnegut once said, there's a flaw in human character. Everybody wants to build, but nobody wants to do maintenance. And I love Vonnegut, but he's wrong. And of course he's wrong because he's never met Mia Walker. Mia, from Tide Book Club to Debris to Open Mic Nights, you haven't just built a culture where storytelling matters, you've nurtured it, you've invited others in, you've sustained it, you've done the maintenance. Through all 4 years at Gunston, you've shown what it means to care deeply about words and the people who write them. You've inspired students and teachers alike with your creativity, your compassion, and your courage to share your stories and to help others find theirs. Congratulations, Mia. I'm truly honored to present you with the Sandy Slocum Spears Award. Please join me in celebrating Mia.
The Hyla Ferguson Literature Award was named in honor of Hyla Ferguson at the time of her death by her husband. David described Hyla as an avid reader with a deep love and appreciation for all literature. Literature, as anyone who has taken my atypical text class knows, doesn't begin and end with the printed word. It expands into the stories we watch, hear, feel, and share. And this year's recipient understands that better than anyone. As an avid reader, she reads books, yes, and plenty, but also movies, TV shows, music, the people in her life, all with equal intensity, equal care, and equal enthusiasm when given the chance to share these stories with anyone who's lucky enough to be within earshot. Throughout Gunson's English classes, we talk a lot about expanding the boundaries of reading. This individual doesn't just expand those boundaries, she lives in that space. Where many take an advisory period as a break from their schoolwork, she takes it as an opportunity to further the discussion of the books that she's reading for class. She helped found the Film and Screenwriting Club, encouraging others to engage with visual storytelling. She's been a participant of the Tide Book Club, discussing what the graphic part of graphic novels adds to the story. She is, in short, an adamant reader of everything. It's with so much joy and admiration that I present the Hyla Ferguson Literature Award to the fantastic Lily Brenner.
Long time no see. So to talk about the juniors for a bit, next up is the Junior Symposium Award. For those of you who don't know, the symposium is a year-long project that challenges juniors to discover the power of stories by reading a selection of texts by an author of their choice. Students write an essay arguing why that author should be read by others. There are a lot of students who deserve to be recognized for taking their writing to another level. Students, if you could please stand as I call your name. Family and friends, I ask that you please hold your applause until all of the names have been read. So the honors recipients include Ava Augustus, Aurora Bachman, Genevieve Bachman, Leo Daneke, Riley Pfaff, Eden Harper, Layla Kent, Olivia Mandel, Emma Morris, Lev Murray, Emma Kanza, Kaden Kirion, Bertine Roman, Leah Schut, Emily Steele, Caroline Thomas, Lucas Watkins, Hannah Winans, Ren Weingartner, and Lily Wharton. A round of applause for honors recipients. So then there are the students who take their writing to another level. They earn high honors. These students include Kate Andrews, Arlo Badger, Annabelle Baker, Susanna Clark, Hannah Mae Connor, Eleanor Hubbard, Sydney Kim, Eamon Schoffer, Siru Topjohn, Lily Wenny, and Livia Whitberg. Congratulations, high honors recipients. So for the Symposium Award itself, one of the highest compliments I can give a student's writing is to say that it is Tolkien-esque. What I mean by this is that, like Tolkien, this student writer looks for the good in small, quiet things, those Hobbit-like details that other people overlook, or worse, have deemed meaningless. If you know Lord of the Rings, you know Treebeard, the Ent, a walking, talking, sentient tree, who when asked what side he's on in the war between good and evil, he replies, "I'm not altogether on anyone's side, because nobody is altogether on my side." Annabelle? Okay. So Annabelle, from day one, I could see how much you cared. You cared about the writing, yes. You were diligent, thoughtful, attentive to detail, always asking the right questions, but more than that, you cared about helping others see the good in whatever the end might represent, meaning, wonder, and the natural world itself. In your writing, you claim that, I quote, "Aldo Leopold makes it evident that there are traits of man woven through nature, and that, to those who know where and why to look, you can find humanity in trees and mosquitoes alike. Leopold helps you find this where and why." So my claim is that you do the same. Like Tolkien, like Leopold, your writing is full of wisdom and the hope that we can find the best redeemable parts of our humanity and our world. You cared, and that means everything. So keep on writing. We need voices like yours, voices that remind us to look closer, to wonder, to care. And when the world sees what side you're on, they'll say, not unlike Tolkien's Treebeard, "I'm altogether on the side of good, because Annabelle is on the side of good." Please join me in welcoming Annabelle Baker to the stage.
Good morning. As the Director of Community and Belonging, it's my pleasure to lead our international student program. I think you'd all agree that our campus would not be the same without our international community. This year we welcome students from China, Spain, Germany, and Switzerland. And I'd like to take just a quick moment to recognize them as we wish them well on their journeys and welcome 2 students back next year to graduate with us. As you hear your name, I know you'll love this, please stand up to be recognized. Abril Alonso, Leo Denecki, Luis Ortiz Fernandez, Annie Gay, who will be joining us this year for graduation, Jim Liu, Tiago Paul, Berton Roman, Paula Ruiz San Valentin, who's also returning to graduate with us next year, Eva Saravanels, Nora Vollenwaller, Hannah Winans, and Livia Whitmer. Thank you for everything you've done. And finally, I'd like to thank our host families for opening up their homes to our international students. And if you'd like to join this list, chat with me afterwards. We'll always be with host families. But a special thanks to the Augustus family, the Bernstons, the Dalzells, the Filers, the Griffins, the Johnstons, the Martins, the Millers, the Morrises, the Mulocks, the Overtons, and the Watson family. Thank you for everything. Truly takes a village, it really does. Well, it's my great honor to present this year's Immersion Award. The Immersion Award goes to a first-year international student who has exemplified the spirit and principle of cultural and linguistic immersion. The student will have engaged fully in our academic classes, participated in clubs and athletics, and will have engaged socially across the student body. This year's recipient came to us from Spain, and from the moment he stepped onto our campus, he became an example of how to live with openness, courage, and curiosity. He initially just planned to stay with us until March, but once he integrated into our community, he quickly changed his mind, and we're glad he did. He was a dedicated member of the varsity soccer team, the varsity swimming team, and tennis teams, bringing not only his skill, but sportsmanship and commitment to those teams. Off the field, he was an active member of both the Business and Investment Club and Christian Athletes Club, practicing financial engagement and demonstrating a commitment to the values that matter to him deeply the most. Off campus, Luis also became a member in a new family to the local Catholic Church in Centerville. So yes, Luis has shown us what it means to be immersed, not just in language and our culture, but in the life of our school and the greater community. He has given of himself to our teams, our clubs, our community, and in doing so, he has made us proud to call Gunston his home for this school year. We'll miss seeing you, and we wish you the best. It is my great honor to present the 2025 Immersion Award to Luis Ortiz Fernandez. first introduce you to Rich Batdorf, who's the father of Megan Batdorf, class of 2006. I had the joy of teaching his daughter Megan for 9th, 10th, and 11th grade years as a vocal soloist, a member of the Gunston Chorale, and a member of the Gunston Players. In addition to these artistic pursuits, Megan was an equally passionate athlete, participating in her school teams, as well as both equestrian and swimming events off of campus. I'm extremely proud to recognize, on behalf of the faculty and on behalf of Megan's family, the recipient of this award as the junior who embodies Megan's passion and skill in both the performing arts and athletics, and who also exhibits personal qualities of camaraderie, community support, and citizenship. This student is an active member of his school and a supportive friend. This student has grown tremendously in his 3 years at Gunston, running, biking, swimming, and studying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This year we've seen him spread his artistic wings in guitar class as a member of the contemporary ensemble and an actor on stage in You Can't Take It With You. An individual of high character, engagement, and dedication who pushes himself every day, we proudly award the Megan Virginia Batdorf Award this year to Aiden Marquetta.
I am honored to be here today to present the Claire Poussard Award. This award is given to a rising senior who has struggled during their first couple years at Gunston. By the end of their junior year, the recipient has matured and gained personal growth in all areas of school and everything that Gunston has to offer. The Claire Poussard Award was created in order to acknowledge Gunston for all that the school had to offer and what the staff and fellow peers were able to do for her. She credits Gunston for helping to change her life. Alongside me is Miss Anita Grross, Claire's advisor, who's here to help present the Claire Poussard Award. Ms. Grross will now give a little background about the award.
Go green. Claire Poussard Award. Claire graduated in '96 during the era of girls boarding. And on day one, Claire's personality was obvious. Argumentative, creative, grumpy, academically curious, overthinking everything, athletic, skeptical of what goes on here. Over time, everyone noticed Claire's transformation. She was pleasantly immersed into all aspects of Gunston life, and she got it. Claire and her parents were so appreciative of this transformation, and Claire's home life improved also, that her parents said. And to show their appreciation, the Claire Poussard Award arrived. And this award is a monetary award given in Claire's name to a junior.
This year's recipient of the award is one of my advisees. From the first day of school until now, there's been tremendous growth, both personally and academically. His freshman year, I would tell him he needed to be on time more often. He blamed his sister for being late. That sister then graduated. The next year, I would tell him he needed to be on time more often. He blamed his other sister for being late. That sister then graduated. This year, I told him there was no sister to blame for his tardiness, and therefore he needed to be on time. He rose to the occasion. From his freshman year until the end of his junior year, I had to remind him less and less to do and turn in his homework. By the end of his junior year, he took responsibility for his work and his actions and has become a student that faculty enjoy talking to and having in class. During his freshman and sophomore years, teachers would contact me to make sure his work was turned in. This has not been the case during his junior year. The difference I have seen in this student has been tremendous, and I couldn't be happier for the person he has become. Changing from the timid freshman who didn't seem to know how to turn an assignment in, even if it was completed, to the junior who has earned the respect of his teachers and fellow classmates. I'm so proud to present this award to Luca Tucker.
The Murray Whitaco Award was created by former board member Barbara Gale and her husband Tom. It's to be given to a Gunston student who is a resident of the Eastern Shore of Maryland, who demonstrates a high academic achievement, a strong work ethic, a strong moral character, and one who has contributed most highly to building a vibrant Gunston community. I've had the pleasure of knowing the student for the past 3 years in my English class, as contributor and editor of the literary magazine, as an active member of the Tide Book Club, and a participant in several student diversity leadership conferences, both locally and nationally. I know the other teams, clubs, and classroom spaces she resides in have gained just as much from her presence and participation as I have. The student is charismatic, generous with her time and ideas, of which there are plenty, and is consistently striving to do more. She brings a recognizable energy with her everywhere that she goes and proves that one really can have fun while working hard. She truly epitomizes the use of the term vibrant in the description of this award. This year's Murray Whitaco Award goes to the deserving Kate Andrews.
Good morning. This year, a number of Gunston juniors earned recognition from colleges and universities across our country. Should these students attend the college or university named, they may be eligible for scholarships that vary by institution. Juniors, when your name is stated, please come up to collect your award at the table on your right and remain in front for a group photograph of all junior recipients at the end. We've got a few awards to get through, so please hold your applause until the conclusion of the presentation. First, I will announce the book awards. Annabelle Baker. The University of Vermont Citizen Scholar Book Award goes to a junior who has demonstrated both outstanding dedication to scholarship inside the classroom and impressive duty to citizenship outside the classroom. Congratulations to Annabelle. Eleanor Hubbard. The Rachel Carson Healthy Planet Award from Chatham University recognizes one student who is passionate and committed to improving the environment in their community through sustainability. Nominees are eligible for an $11,000 scholarship over 4 years. Congratulations to Eleanor. Annabelle Baker and Eleanor Hubbard. The St. Michael's College Book Award for Academic Achievement and Social Conscience is presented to a junior for academic success and exemplary community involvement. Students are eligible to receive a full tuition scholarship. Congratulations to Annabelle and Eleanor. Now I will announce our college award recipients, Sydney Kim and Jed Cohen. The Clarkson University Achievement Award is presented to a qualified junior each year who demonstrates leadership and outstanding academic achievement. The recipient will be eligible for a minimum of $80,000 in scholarships over 4 years. Congratulations to Sydney and Jed as this year's Clarkson University Achievement Award recipients. Kate Andrews, Ava Augustus, Annabelle Baker, Connor Joyce, Eamon Schopfer, and Lucas Watkins. Rochester Institute of Technology offers several award programs which recognize outstanding high school students for their leadership, service, and achievements. These awards are accompanied by a $96,000 scholarship for each recipient if they apply and are admitted to RIT. We are pleased to recognize Kate Andrews with the Women in STEM Award, Ava Augustus with the Humanities and Social Sciences Award, Annabelle Baker with the Art and Design Award, Connor Joyce with the Business and Leadership Award, Eamon Schopfer with the Science and Math Award, and Lucas with the Computing Award. Congratulations. Ava Augustus, Aiden Filer, Connor Joyce, Emily Steele, and Lila Wharton. St. Bonaventure University offers scholarships valued up to $88,000 over 4 years, based on their academic achievements and on qualities that reflect the core values that St. Bonaventure University holds dear, such as academic excellence, community service, integrity, wisdom, compassion, and appreciation for diversity. We would like to recognize our 5 recipients, Ava, Aiden, Connor, Emily, and Lila. We have 3 scholarship awards from the University of Rochester that make the following students eligible for a minimum of $20,000 over 4 years. Eamon Schopfer. The George Eastman Young Leaders Award goes to a student who demonstrates strong leadership, high academic achievement in challenging courses, and extensive involvement in extracurricular activities. We are pleased to recognize Eamon. Kate Andrews. The Frederick Douglass and Susan B. Anthony Award goes to a student who demonstrates commitment to understanding and addressing difficult social issues, is a leader dedicated to community action, and has strong grades in rigorous courses in the humanities and social sciences. We are pleased to recognize Kate. Lucas Watkins. The Bosch and Lam Honorary Science Award goes to a student who demonstrates high achievement and rigor in math and science courses and makes positive contributions to their school community. We are pleased to recognize Lucas. Emery Day, Emma Kanza, and Elena Thompson. The Center Fellows Program at Center College recognizes high-achieving and engaged high school juniors who would benefit from a liberal arts education. These students will receive a scholarship of at least $104,000 if admitted to Center. Congratulations to Emery, Emma, and Elena. Lucas Watkins. The Rensselaer Medal Award from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute for outstanding academic achievement in the study of math and science is worth up to $160,000 over 4 years. Congratulations, Lucas. Emery Day. The Alfred University Scholars Award, worth a total of $120,000, recognizes a student of character who inspires others with their leadership and academic exploration and embodies the positive attitude, academic initiative, and social awareness of a true Alfred Saxon. Congratulations, Emery. Aiden Filer. The Wilkes University Colonel Emerging Leader Award, worth $8,000, recognizes a student for their achievement in academics and extracurricular activities and their aptitude in leadership, scholarship, and service. We are pleased to recognize Aiden. Connor Joyce. For over 160 years, Worcester Polytechnic Institute has shaped the next generation of STEM leaders and may continue this tradition with the WPI Innovation Award. This award is given to one high school junior who demonstrates outstanding potential in STEM fields and includes a scholarship worth $100,000 to attend WPI. Congratulations, Connor. We now pause for group pictures of all juniors recognized in this portion of the program. I invite you to applaud their many accomplishments.
class of 2025 had a very successful college admission season and amassed over $11 million in merit scholarships. So congratulations to all of you. Each year, seniors receive recognition from the greater community. I'm honored to announce the recipients. When your name is stated, please come up to collect your award at the table to your right. Remain in front for a group photograph of all senior recipients at the end. And again, please hold your applause until the conclusion of the presentation because there are many recipients. First, Justin McCubbin and Elijah Moore. We would like to celebrate our 2 National Merit Commended Scholars. Justin and Eli received commendations from the National Merit Scholarship Corporation in recognition of exceptional academic achievement as evidenced by their outstanding performance on the PSAT. Congratulations, Justin and Eli. Lily Brandner, Brayden Ham, and V. McCluskey. Each year, Governor Westmore recognizes the scholastic achievement of top academic performers with the state of Maryland. Scholastic Merit Award. Congratulations on your outstanding academic history and achievement, Lily, Brayden, and V. Maggie Porciello, the Van Hollen Public Service Award recognizes Senator Chris Van Hollen's strong belief in the importance of community involvement and service to others. Leadership and service require students to look beyond themselves by engaging in their community, forging new relationships, and collaborating with others to stand up and affect change. We are proud to honor Maggie with this award. Congratulations, Maggie. Logan Keeley, Maggie Porciello, and Emma Sharp. We recognize these students for volunteering a combined 700 plus hours with the Queen Anne's County Drug-Free Student Ambassador Program. Their passion, integrity, and lasting contributions strengthen the QAC Drug-Free Coalition and our community. We are appreciative of their commitment and time. Thank you, Logan, Maggie, and Emma. Olivia Arthur, for her academic achievements and leadership roles in various extracurricular activities at the Gunston School, Delegate Thomas Hutchinson proudly awards Olivia a delegate scholarship of $500 for her upcoming 4 years at UMBC. Congratulations, Olivia. Allison Lutz, for her outstanding academic achievement, hard work, and dedication at the Gunston School, Senator Stephen Hershey proudly awards Allie a senatorial scholarship of $4,000 for her upcoming 4 years at Mount St. Mary's University. Congratulations, Allie. Thomas McGee, for his academic achievements and leadership roles in various extracurricular activities at the Gunston School, Senator Dawn Jowell, Legislative District 33, proudly awards Thomas a senatorial scholarship of $2,000 awarded 250 per semester over his upcoming 4 years at St. Mary's College in Maryland. Congratulations, Thomas. Trevor Jansen, Pearl Contarinas, the Midshore Community Foundation is pleased to manage scholarships that support students in Caroline, Dorchester, Kent, Queen Anne's, and Talbot counties. Scholarships are awarded based on academic achievement, community service, and other criteria specified by the donor. We are pleased to recognize Trevor, who was awarded the healthcare scholarship worth $10,500, as well as the Beverly A. Patterson scholarship, which is worth $1,100. And Pearl, who was awarded the Artistic Insight Scholarship worth $2,000. Congratulations, Trevor and Pearl. Ben Gilbert is the 2025 recipient of the Sam Scalzo Music Scholarship worth $300. Bill Drozga of Music Life in Chestertown created the scholarship to honor the many contributions Sam Scalzo has made to music education in Kent and Queen Anne's counties over the past 20 years. Congratulations, Ben. Evelyn Russ. The Dorchester Chamber Foundation Jerry Boyle Scholarship recognizes a student for their academic achievements, good attitude, enthusiasm, reliability, community involvement, and work ethic. Evelyn is this year's recipient of the scholarship worth $3,000. Congratulations, Evelyn. We will now pause for a group picture of all of these seniors recognized in this portion of the program. Please join me in congratulating them.
Great. So then there's the Paradigm. The Paradigm is another extensive writing project in which seniors reflect on experiences, people, and places that have had a transformative impact on their understanding of who they are. Seniors then tell their story. Again, there's a long list of students who deserve to be recognized for going above and beyond our expectations. Students, if you could please stand as I call your name. Family and friends, I ask that you please hold your applause until all names have been read. So, honors first. Alex Bent, Allison Davis, Lennox Franks, Elena Frazier, Ben Gilbert, Adik Gupta, RP Johnson, Nina Johnston, Ali Lutz, Victoria McGlashian, Caroline Miranda, Eli Moore, Chaz Morris, Louise Gulak, Maggie Porciello, Evelyn Russ, Catherine Sadler, Kate Seibert, Emma Sharp, Grayson Shepard, and Zach Steinberg. A round of applause. For high honors, Lily Brantner, Braden Ham, Grace Hanlon, E. McCluskey, Isla McCollum, Benta Owino, Elizabeth Pupke, Margaret Randolph, Olivia Runs, Jackson Showalter, Mia Walker, and Aiden Watson. Congrats, high honors recipients. So I'd also like to thank my colleagues who helped mentor students throughout the Paradigm Project. Couldn't make this happen without them. Senor Angarita, Senor Juan Angarita, Dr. Asprion, Ms. Boone, Mr. Chafee, Ms. Coffey, Ms. Connor, Ms. Crandall, Mr. Dyes, Dr. Goodall, Ms. Gravis, Ms. Jane, Mr. Taylor, Mr. Kelly, Ms. Larimore, Mr. Redding, Ms. Showalter, Mr. Stevenson, Dr. Wilson, and Mr. Wiseman. Thank you for your mentorship, guys. And now for the Paradigm Award. So the truth is that I envy Dunstan seniors. I wish that I had a Paradigm project to look back on. I tell the students I mentor that the Paradigm isn't for me, it's not for a grade, it's for them. It's a time capsule of who they are now, so I ask them to imagine themselves 30 years from now finding a box in a dusty attic with their Paradigm inside of it, rediscovering the story of who they were. I wish I had something like that from high school. I wish that I could really look back on who I was in 9th grade, even though I know that I'd be cringing the entire time. But the cringing is good. It means you've grown. It means you didn't peak as a freshman. The point is to cringe at yourself, your past self, is to realize your growth. That's part of being human. And that, I think, is part of the power of storytelling. I had the honor of witnessing that power in this student's project, and as she pieced together her story, I saw how cathartic the process could be. I experienced my own paradigm shift about the value of the Paradigm Project, watching her show how we don't just survive crises, we grow from them. If I may borrow from the words of Dickens, a crisis can help us see all of the things that we're supposed to see, such as our strength, our resilience, our humanity, and that we have what it takes to face the things we once turned away from. So Margaret, in 30 years, go up to your attic, open the box, pull out your Paradigm Project, and when you read it, I hope you see how much you've grown, and if you cringe a little, that's just proof of your growth. But here's something I hope you never forget. Like all great writers, through telling your story, you've revealed something important. And that's that you've always been very good at being human. Please join me in welcoming Margaret Randolph to the stage.
Community Service Award was created in honor of my grandmother, Marguerite Thomas, upon her retirement from Gunston after 35 years as business manager. She was a beautiful soul, role model to many, and the glue to our family. Thank you, this year's award recipient, for continuing your legacy with your dedication to volunteering.
I had the great pleasure of working with Marguerite Thomas for 8 years before she retired, and we remained close friends thereafter. She was a kind and quiet-spoken mentor to all, and I observed her unending service to the school, and I can say that I see the exact same qualities in my dear friend Reed, who's standing here with me. And the same is true of this year's recipient. Overall, this senior class completed an impressive 3,240 hours of service, both within the Gunston community and beyond. Among them, one student's quiet dedication, generous spirit, and consistent leadership stand out. This year's recipient served as an admissions ambassador, welcoming student visitors, guiding families during Expo Day, and volunteering in open house events. She shared her athletic talents through teaching clinics and her musical gift for performances both on and off campus. She supported her peers by lending a hand with their service projects, never seeking any recognition. Most notably, over the past 4 years, she has devoted countless hours as a Queen Anne's County drug-free ambassador, leading initiatives and mentoring younger students with compassion and commitment. In the words of our county commissioners, this student service and leadership shaped the program into a powerful force for change. Much like Marguerite Thomas, this student serves others humbly and graciously, never seeking accolades, only the opportunity to give. It's my pleasure to present the Marguerite Thomas Community Service Award to Maggie Torchiello.
Good morning. My name is Brad Hirsch, and I'm the new-ish Director of Sustainability at Gunston. The Corsica River and the Chesapeake Bay have influenced the direction of Gunston and its curriculum in ways both obvious and subtle. Being built on a river provides growth opportunities for each and every student, but also places a level of responsibility on every member of the Gunston community. I once heard a wise old waterman say, "The river gives as much as she takes." And the same can be said for many Gunston students sitting here today. For all the joy that they have taken from this river and the environment, they've also given back so much as well. While every Gunston student has a special relationship to the natural world around them at this school, there are specific students that show their love for nature and act on that passion in consistent and inspiring ways. For them, we award the Environmental Stewardship Award. To the student who has demonstrated a working understanding of environmental stewardship, who has exhibited leadership in organizing and inspiring sustainable actions, and who has promoted an attitude of environmental responsibility in others. The award itself, fashioned as an oyster reef, was designed and crafted by our art teacher, Jessica, to represent how environmental stewardship builds and spreads within a community, enriching and improving the ecosystem. Awardees are presented with a porcelain oyster shell as a reminder to continue to plant the seed of environmental stewardship in the communities they join. This year's recipient, B. McGlashian, has left no question about what matters to them the most. Since their first year at Gunston, B has been a consistent participant in our environmental club, but their commitment to the environment at and beyond Gunston goes far beyond that. They joined the Chesapeake Watershed semester, where they were a devoted and excellent student. Their devotion and passion was demonstrated well beyond CWS in classes as far-ranging as American Wilderness Literature, and AP Environmental Science. Ms. Showalter said, "What V does best is share what they know in a gentle, non-threatening way." They have consistently participated in optional environmental events to increase knowledge and awareness, such as the Assateague camping trips, the Upper Shore Youth Environmental Action Summit, and also volunteering at the Arboretum. Students with a commitment like V instill a sense of hope in me for the future. I'm honored to present the 2025 Environmental Stewardship Award to V. McGlashian.
The Diversity Award goes to a student leader who has demonstrated a record of leadership in organizing and inspiring actions which promote diversity on campus. The recipient makes a significant difference in the Gunston community as an advocate for recognizing diversity and honoring our philosophy of community and belonging, which states in part, we commit to a culture of inclusivity and equity, where individuals from diverse backgrounds and perspectives feel welcome and valued. This year's recipient is an active and veteran member of both the GSA and SDLC clubs here on campus since she joined us her 10th grade year. Whether she was preparing or leading discussions with peers during our Global Awareness Day, Civic Learning Day, or Regional BSDLC conferences, she has reminded us that diversity is not just a word we include in our philosophy statements, it's a value that we must live out every day. I look forward to seeing the fierce advocate take their passion to the real world to make our broader community more equitable for all. So please join me in congratulating and thanking this year's Diversity Leader recipient, Ms. Sydney Baker.
The More Improvement Award is given to a senior who has demonstrated the most significant personal, social, and academic growth while at Gunston. When this student entered our Gunston community, they were not confident in their academic ability and would often avoid challenges. As for their demeanor, it's what I would classify as squirrely. Fast forward to senior year, and they embrace challenges, seek extra help when it's needed, and have developed a strong work ethic. To say that this student has gone from less squirrely to more scholarly is apt. One of my favorite memories of this student occurred many years ago when they were in early elementary school. Their former headmaster would have them crawl under a podium, much like this one, and pull out the awards for the 8th graders. This student brought joy and levity to an otherwise serious event. Their playful, kind-hearted nature is still very much a part of who they are. However, now they are a leader among their peers who consistently demonstrates sincere gratitude for those around them. We are all so proud of you, and today is your day to come up and receive an award, Wiley Keegan.
Each year, the Faculty Award is presented to one or two seniors who have consistently enriched the spirit of our school through their quiet leadership, steady involvement, and commitment to community. These students are not always the loudest voices in the room, but they are often the heart of it, uplifting others, leading by example, and showing up day after day with kindness, dedication, and integrity. The class of 2025 is so exceptional that the faculty could not choose just one honoree. This year, we proudly recognize 2 outstanding students whose presence has made a lasting impact on our community. I'll introduce each student and then invite both of them to the stage to receive their awards. Please hold your applause until both names have been announced. First, we will recognize Allison Davis. Allison is inquisitive, intelligent, hardworking, and determined. But above all, she is exceptionally kind. From the moment you meet her, you are struck by her gentle spirit and calming presence. She brings quiet strength into every space she enters, and she treats others with an attentiveness that is both rare and beautiful. Sensitive and empathetic, Allison makes people feel heard, seen, and valued. Her leadership reflects the same compassion that guides her relationships. As a Gunston ambassador, she has represented our school with warmth and grace, welcoming prospective students and their families with genuine care. She has also served as president of the National Honor Society, co-leader of the Environmental Club, and vice president of the Give Club. In each of these roles, she leads with humility, thoughtfulness, and an unwavering dedication to make a difference. And of course, anyone who knows Allison knows of her deep love for horses and the joy and peace she finds in caring for them, a reflection of the same nurturing spirit she shares with her community. Allison also participated in Gunston's Chesapeake Watershed Semester, where she explored environmental issues through scientific, social, and cultural lenses. She returned from this experience even more reflective, confident, and inspired. Her advisor shared, when Allison finds a topic that captivates her, she throws herself into it completely, something that speaks volumes about her character. Allison, as you head to the University of Maryland, we wish you every success. We are proud to have walked alongside you on this part of your journey. Now we recognize Victoria McGlashian. Victoria is a young woman of uncommon spirit, integrity, and heart. Her academic accomplishments speak for themselves, but it is her deep sense of responsibility to others, her leadership, and her joyful presence that make her truly unforgettable. As one of the 4 captains of Gunston's green and white teams, Victoria has helped lead some of our school's most cherished traditions, organizing spirited competitions, school-wide events, and community-building moments with energy, humility, and care. As co-leader of the Environmental Club and vice president of fundraising for the Give Club, Victoria has inspired countless peers through her steadfast dedication to sustainability and community outreach. She has been actively involved in these roles since 9th grade, always leading by example and lifting others along the way. Like Allison, Victoria participated in Chesapeake Watershed Semester during her junior year. Through this experience, she gained not only a deeper understanding of the environment, but also a deeper and even greater sense of confidence and independence, learning to navigate complex issues while strengthening her voice and perspective as a leader. Victoria's spirit is best described as joyful, generous, and authentic. She brings out the best in people through her warmth and optimism. One teacher shared, Victoria is a beacon of positivity and care. She doesn't just participate, she makes everything better by being there. Victoria, we are so proud of you. As you head to Wake Forest, carry with you the joy, kindness, and purpose you have so generously shared with us here. Please join me in welcoming and congratulating Allison and Victoria as they make their way to the stage.
Gunston's Leadership Award recognizes one senior who during their high school years has effectively, positively, and constructively guided and directed others in thought, speech, and action. They have consistently demonstrated initiative and followed through on matters that benefited their community, both seeking out need and pulling together others to meet that need. At Gunston, this student has been an honor roll student, participated in the Student Leadership Institute, choreographed and performed at open mic night and Gunston Players performances, and been recognized by her peers as class president all 4 years. Without Benta corralling the troops, there might not have been any senior sunrise this year and no trunk sale. In addition to her service at school, Benta has served as an assistant dance teacher and performed in the Nutcracker with the Ballet Theater of Maryland, as well as at community-minded celebrations like a Frederick Douglass Day event at Washington College. Benta has also been a leader in the areas of community and belonging on campus, building on her experience attending the Baltimore Student Diversity Leaders Conference as far back as 9th grade, when I got to see her class leadership skills in action as a 9th grade advisor. On behalf of the faculty, I'm very proud to present the 2025 Leadership Award to Benta Owino.
The Gunston Award began in 1969 as the Gunston Girl Award during the era of the boarding school, the girls' boarding school. In 1997, it became the Gunston Award when we transitioned to a co-ed and day school. This award is unique in that it's voted by faculty, the students, and all of the staff. Each one of us has the opportunity and also the responsibility to select the one senior that we believe enacts our school's core values on a daily basis. I like to describe each year's recipient in light of our school's moral code, the responsibilities of the community. The first principle is respect. Through words, actions, and attitudes in classes, meetings, athletic competitions, green and white days, and all forms of communication, this student consistently demonstrates a deep respect of others, fostering a culture of kindness and connection. They make everyone genuinely feel seen and heard. The next is responsibility for personal and academic excellence. This student fully understands the impact of their choices on others and leads with empathy and compassion. Their commitment to academic excellence, active involvement in club, artistic, and athletic arenas reflect a deep sense of responsibility and an unwavering pursuit of excellence. Awareness and appreciation of differences. This student values the unique strengths and diverse backgrounds of peers and teachers, fostering a spirit of understanding and collaboration. As a role model of citizenship and thoughtful leadership, they uplift others and ensure every individual feels respected, included, and valued. Honesty in speech and in action. Honest without fail, trustworthy always. In every setting, this student's integrity has not only defined their character, but has elevated the character of our entire school community. And the final principle is the promotion and practice of camaraderie. The students' kindness, empathy, and thoughtfulness have fostered a deep sense of unity among classmates, teammates, and club members. Their actions reflect genuine commitment to connection and have helped build lasting relationships that strengthen the fabric of our school. Being chosen by the vote of the entire school community affirms the students' lived example of true camaraderie. It is my honor to present the 2025 Gunston Award to Mia Walker.
First off, we want to offer a big thank you to all of Gunston's SGA members and faculty advisors this school year for your leadership throughout the year. Without officers and representatives from each class, we would miss out on bake sales, dress down days, the back to school dance, Spirit Week and homecoming, the Centerville Parade, senior truck sale, and prom. Before announcing next year's executive officers, let's first recognize this year's Secretary and Chief Polk Reader, A.J. Frederick, Vice President and Dance Committee Chair, Eamon Schoffer, and will present the traditional gavel to our outgoing Student Body President, Logan Killey. We applaud all three of you for your service to the community.
Next, we recognize those who have been elected to class office in the coming year. Any vacancies will be filled by a separate vote in the fall. Please hold your applause until all officers and representatives for each grade level have been announced.
Next year's sophomore class officers, please stand in place to be recognized. Our treasurer is going to be Iris Lilly. Our secretary will be Phoebe Fritz. Our vice president will be Kellen Fitzgerald. And our president is going to be Jesselyn Tanover.
Next year's junior class officers, please stand in place to be recognized. Representatives Austin Cotaros and Camilla Nonmaker. Treasurer Evelyn Redicart. Secretary Natalie Edelin. Vice President Maria Boone. And President Marley Farmer.
Will the next year's senior class officers please stand in place to be recognized? The representative, Gianni Figliosi. Treasurer, Nevin Porter. Vice President, Emma Morris. And President, Kate Andrews.
Finally, we recognize those elected as next year's SGA executives who will run weekly, all-school meetings, monthly SGA meetings, and represent the entire student body. Next year's executive officers, please stand in place to be recognized. Secretary, Sydney Cummings. Vice President, Sarun Topchin. And President, Eamon Schoffer. Thank you.
Unfortunately, I was not able to remove the speed bumps as our class gift. I apologize in advance. On the behalf of the class of 2025, I'm excited to announce our senior class gift is to help extend the brick walkway at the front of campus. This new section, which will be named the Walkway of the Class of 2025, will not only enhance the beauty of our school grounds, but also create more space for future seniors to leave their mark at our end-of-year bricklaying ceremony, ensuring that the tradition continues for classes to come and that every senior has a place to be remembered. Thank you.
Before we welcome Mrs. Gravis back to the stage to recognize faculty milestones, it's imperative that we pause and celebrate her own milestone, having selflessly served the Gunston community for 40 years this year, 35 of those years as assistant head. Now, I promise not to give a long speech, but I think it only fitting that we clap 40 times as we welcome Christy Gravis back to the stage.
most of my life at the Gunston School. And it's been my pleasure. I have worked here for so long that it's given me a wonderful opportunity to work with amazing colleagues and dedicated teachers who love all of you. And it's appropriate that each year we take a moment when we're together as a faculty and celebrate milestones. And we have quite a number of them this year. But I will say to my colleagues, thank you, because you make me want to be better. You inspire me to be better at what I do. Thank you. So we have a long list, if you would please, as we've done in many other parts of the program. Just hold your applause until the end, and then we'll carry on as we normally do. Celebrating 1 year, we have 4 folks who joined us mid-year. Nicole Benner, English teacher. Delaney Dunnigan, special events and alumni coordinator. Mike Hardesty, director of facilities. Ryan McCauley, art teacher. And we do have 3 first years who joined us last August. Brad Hirsch, director of Chesapeake Watershed Semester and Sustainability. Joelle Sywall, math teacher and tennis coach. Matt Wiseman, music teacher. Moving further, we have 2 folks celebrating their 5th year milestone together. Cam Angarita, alumni, Spanish teacher, boys varsity soccer coach, and head tennis coach. Fairuz Mannion, our school nurse, wellness coordinator, and wellness teacher. Celebrating a decade of service with us, Mariah Goodall, science teacher and girls volleyball coach. Mo Weimer, our beloved English department chair. Celebrating 15 years together, Juan Angarita, World Language Department Chair, Instructional Technology Coordinator, and Head Coach of Boys Varsity Soccer and Futsal, and our very own John Lewis. John would typically be here to lead this portion of the ceremony, but he's celebrating Billy Lewis, Gunston class of 2029, at the country school. From embarkation to disembarkation and everything in between, it's very easy to see the impact that John Lewis has had as our head over these 15 years. Celebrating 20 years, Richard Spray, a member of the facilities team, who takes extraordinary, professional, and loving care of our 75 acres on the Corsica. We have 1 retirement this year that we celebrated at our event. Ernie Darling, Director of Facilities, retired after 20 and a half years of service. Mr. Darling continues to share his wealth of knowledge and vast experience with the school. And sadly, we have 1 departure, Natalie Redding. We bid another farewell to you, Natalie, as you head off to pursue your personal entrepreneurial interests. Natalie graduated in 2016 following a stellar academic and rowing career. She returned as assistant rowing coach, and then in 2023, she became our Associate Athletic Director for Waterfront Athletics and head rowing coach. Natalie, you've made many lasting marks on our school community, and we know that you will remain true as an alum and friend of the school. We thank you very much for your service. A little bit ago, you heard Braden Ham offer a heartfelt thank you to Dr. Wilson for the impact that he has had on his life. Students, I believe that each one of you have someone or many someones here who have touched your life as well. And I invite everyone, students and guests alike, to applaud the milestones among our faculty and staff this year. The moment we've been waiting for, the presentation of this year's White Cup.
Before I begin, what we could do is we could take a moment to recognize that this is the last year that we get to do this at these at this award. And next year we can lean over to the person next to us and say, it's awfully cold in here. So you made it to me. You know, we're almost finished. Last 45 minutes, and then you're over. It's over. No, I'm joking, because I know you all are thinking. You're thinking we've been here for a while already. No drama this year. Just tell us who won. And I hear you. I did. And you know what? You're right. I'm with you. This year is going to be different. No theatrics. I'm just going to tell you who won. I'm serious. All right, the 24-25 Green and White Cup winner is. Can we help him find a seat, or are we? Can we give it up for Mr. Wiseman? Mr. Wiseman gets You think you're high. Mr. Wiseman has done this probably 5 times this year. He gets asked to do it every time. Thank you, Mr. Wiseman. Okay. Sorry I lost my place. All right, I was letting you all know. I heard your feedback. You don't want a long, drawn-out lead up this year, and I don't either. I'm just going to tell you who won. The 24-25 Green and White Cup winner is.
Yeah, sorry, I'm late, bro. I gotta go.
This generation. Okay. You done with the phone call? We can move forward? Right, okay, where was I? Yes, I was agreeing with you that a long, drawn-out build-up where people clearly choreographed planned interruptions to my speech, even though a little bit late. I will not prolong the big reveal this year. This year it ends. This year we're going to do it differently. This year we're going to reveal the winning team Grammy style. Okay, I have an envelope here with the results in my hand. I would like to call up a very special guest who worked so very hard this spring and deserved a chance at redemption. Can I call up Dr. Ryan Aspion to the stage? Come on. Look at that.
And the 2025 Green Awards captives. I'm sorry, I got the wrong envelope, I think. But that's a really good point. That's a good point. We can't reveal the winner before we announce next year's captains. So if I could, Mr. Brother, can we call up this year's Green and White captains, Ms. Grace Shepard, Zach Steinberg, Victoria McGlashian, and Riley Walker?
So much easier without a podium. All right. Okay, I make it a point at this event because being a green and white captain is not easy. It is not easy being a captain when every one of your classmates comes up to you every day in the fall and spring and says, is tomorrow green and white day, tomorrow green and white day, tomorrow green and white day. And you have to remain your composed and kindly remind them for the past 60 years, Green and White Day has been a secret and wish they have a kindly, blessed day. It takes a level of composure and commitment that we can only expect out of our best and brightest teenagers. So can we kindly give it up for our current captains.